Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. If you haven't had an opportunity to watch Game of Thrones tonight, stop listening now. Major spoilers, here we go. We're talking about tonight's episode, which is called Breaker of Chains, and that's exactly what it was, man. We broke chains tonight, B. It was crazy, B. I loved it, alright? But anyway, podcast number 1 with this Breaker of Chains talks about Lady Sansa and Khaleesi, Mother of Dragons. Go listen to that. I'm not going to rehash any of that stuff, man. But just real quick to kind of sum everything up that I talked about last podcast, which I won't be talking about this one. Lady Sansa is safe. She's with Lord Baelish. Khaleesi, the Mother of Dragons, is freeing more slaves. She gave an awesome speech. Next week looks crazy. Okay, so we're talking about in order what happened inside of the episode, man. So real quick, man. Joffrey is lying dead, man, with this eye candy, and I literally, when I say eye candy, it was like these little treats that were over his eyes. It looks like you can kind of pick them up. They were like cookies, like eye cookies, and you can kind of pick them up and eat them. He's lying dead there, okay, and what gets kind of, I guess, really interesting, man, is the way that they handle some things, man. Tywin, man, he decided to go ahead and use that time to groom Joffrey's younger brother, Tommen, okay? And that's Tommen Baratheon. And you kind of see that they recast this guy. Also, I think it's a new guy, because I didn't recognize the kid, man. I'm pretty sure they recast him. Go and check that out, man, to make sure I'm right about that. I'm almost positive, man, about 99% sure. He gives this whole speech, man, about what a king is, what a king isn't, how you should listen to your court, listen to your hands, listen to your people, that are inside of your inner circle, before you become king, when you are king, and after you become king, okay? And the reason why, Joffrey is dead, because he wasn't a good king, man, and it really broke, Cersei's heart, man, and I'm gonna be real about that, man, and here's why I say that. Before Jaime came back, okay, and he came back with his hand or whatever, he came back, he had no hand, Cersei was like, no, you're not getting none of this. All of a sudden, now she not really necessarily gave it up. It was more like, he pretty much decided to get what he wanted, okay? I'm not going to really speak about what happened, because I think it's just disgustingly sick, nasty, and twisted, but Cersei and Jaime, man, they end up making out on Joffrey's body, okay? Let's just take that in for a second, okay? But that's what happened, okay? And I think that her guard was down because of the words, man, from Tywin, man. I think that he really, like her father, it was a father saying that her son was a bad king, and he died because he didn't listen, he was bad, etc., and I think that she allowed a little bit of that lust for her brother, which is sick, twisted, disgusting, nasty, to take over, man. So yeah. Now, here's what's kind of crazy. She said to Jaime, she said, avenge our son. Avenge our son. Our baby boy. Yes, like you and me created this thing called Joffrey, man. So maybe that's why Joffrey was evil, because he was created out of filth. Anyway, moving on, man. We get to the next scene, man, and we have Arya and the dog, okay? And now, honestly, we know that, she's still on this mission to kind of get reunited with her family. The dog is there, and it's just some of the most classic Game of Thrones scenes whenever they're together, man. She's growing up so fast, let's be real about that. And she has this little attitude behind her, but it's also a justifiable attitude because of everything that she's seen and went through and gone through. But yes, she's surviving as a Stark, man. I really do love that. The dog and her, man, they decide to how do you want to say it, share a cabin with a father and a daughter, passerbys. There's a father and there's a daughter passing by. They see the dog and Arya, and they're like, okay, do you guys need something or whatever? And then they end up agreeing upon who is the king, okay, and which king did you fight for. The father is a believer, man, of the faith of the seven, man. The father, the mother, the maiden, the crown, the warrior, the smith, and the stranger, okay? And that was kind of cool because everything ties back and goes back to, Game of Thrones, the first, second, and third season, etc. It's kind of cool, man. It doesn't end well for them because the dog decides to beat up the father. He steals some silver, and she just yells out, she's like, listen, you're so stupid. We're the worthless thing inside of these lands or whatever, you know? And then we move on and we get introduced again to Gilly and Sam. No one believes that Sam killed the White Walkers. Gilly is then moved to a new location inside of this whorehouse, away from Castle Black, man, for safety, okay? And she doesn't really agree with that, but Sam's like, please, listen to me. We gotta agree. You gotta just trust me. It's not safe for you here. I can't defend you. And she's like, well, Sam, you defended me outside of the castle, outside of the walls. I just think that you want to be away from me. He's like, it's not what I think. It's because I need you to be safe. Please, just trust me. And then after that, we're good to go, okay? I had to do that because I just love their voices, all right? But anyway, moving on. Stannis Baratheon, okay? And Davos Seaworth, okay? They have this moment where they get the news, man, of the death of King Joffrey, and that kind of gets Stannis pumped up again. And in order for Davos to get Stannis away from that red witch, man, I think her name is Melisandre, I think it is, something like that. Anyway, the red witch, if you will, man, the evil lady, man, he sends this how do you want to say, this clever letter out, and he has Stannis's deformed princess daughter write the letter, okay? And he uses Stannis Baratheon's name, and it's kind of crazy. I don't know how that's gonna work out or whatever, but that's where we're at right now. The Red Viper. Let's go and talk about that. That's the next scene. The Red Viper, man. He joins forces with Tywin Lannister. And we also know that the history between the Red Viper and the Lannisters is just it's not good. He blames the Mountain for killing some of his family members, and for some reason, I guess in order for the Red Viper to not be blamed for the death of King Joffrey, because apparently the Red Viper is trained inside of poison. He has like this master's degree or PhD inside of poisons, which is kind of crazy. I had no clue about that. I guess that's something that's inside of the book or something, and we find out about that. So anyway, Tyrion goes up to him and he says, this is what's going to happen. I want you to sit on the council. They have him, the Red Viper, and then some other guy who I forget his name as of right now. They'll be sitting on the council to try to convict Tyrion. And I don't know what's going to happen about that, man. I have no clue, man. Real quick, man, the last thing that was shown, man, of Tyrion Lannister is that he orders Pod, man, to betray him. He says, take the position that they offered you. They're not going to offer you again, and then try to get out of these lands, okay? You're not safe here anymore. If they can do this to me, they'll do it to you. Pretty much the same thing that happened to Sansa, or excuse me, Shay. The same thing that happened to Shay. Anybody that is important to Tyrion, man, they're going to kill. And that's just the truth, man. Tyrion is a prisoner right now. He's inside of the walls of the castle, man, locked up, man. Let me see. Let's talk about the wildlings, man. The wildlings, they're here. They're now attacking everybody. They're killing everybody. And Mance Rider is here. We didn't see anything about Warg, man. I didn't see Warg tonight, but obviously we know that if Mance is out there killing and destroying, Warg isn't far behind, man. That's just the way it is, man. That is pretty much it, man. I'm glad I stayed only 10 minutes. If you guys got any comments or whatever, man, just leave them there. Like I said, man, I don't really care about any of these other characters, man. I care about Lady Sansa, Khaleesi. Those are my two favorite characters for Game of Thrones. And that's what I really like. I'll spend a lot of time talking about those characters that I really care about. And if you guys want me to talk about, other characters or more in detail, just let me know, man. As soon as, Gilly and Sam, as soon as they get more story, I start talking about them a little bit more, because I really do like them also, but there really wasn't a lot for me to discuss inside of this episode, man. So that's it, man. This is already episode number 3. That's crazy. We're in episode number 4 next week, and obviously we're talking about a 10 episode series. And you know it got picked up for season 5 and 6 already. So yeah, we're gonna be rolling here, guys. Thanks again for listening. We're out of here, and yeah, that's it.